So, right now it's probably around 9 o'clock p.m. Look at my hands, though. Look at my hands. People are out here getting food to go out and club it. We got paid. We're getting food to go work.
And I'm really happy about the work that we've been doing. And this is literally the last evening of us working on that property in Western area. So it's been an emotional roller coaster, man. We just drop off the guys, and then there's still a lot of work to be done. I mean, as soon as we get there, we will show you how far are we. And I doubt if there is going to be any sleeping there. But the thing is, you know, even through tough times, that's when the passion actually comes out. That's when the dedication, that's when the discipline comes out. And I've learned something, especially being an entrepreneur, that discipline surpasses talent. You need to be disciplined.
Of course. So now looking at the strategy that we're actually going to be using right now, right? We've been introduced to the back-to-back strategy, right? So now most of the time what we normally do is that we would actually register the property into our name and then only flip the property. But now we've been introduced to the back-to-back, whereby the property doesn't even need to be registered under your name. But now the question would then be that whilst you are marketing the property, what would then be their game plan in terms of who's actually going to be paying the rent on a monthly basis? So what you can do is to actually pay the rent. So instead of putting a deposit, that deposit can rather go to the rent, and then you can then go into that property as soon as possible and start fixing that property. Ideally, for a back-to-back, I think what you'd want to do is to find a property that doesn't have anybody in the property. Because now if it's going to be a back-to-back, then you need to take occupation so that you can actually fix the property, right? So that's what you need to actually consider anytime you're actually going to be investing in a property. I'm excited. Now are you excited?
100%, man. The team is ready. Let's go.
Hey there. So we tried to keep this as authentic as possible, making it as real as possible. I mean, you can tell by the way Neil is actually looking. I'm literally holding the camera with my hand. I'm not sure how long this is actually going to last for. So this is the last day at flipping property, man.
Man, flip will make you proper crusty. But anyways, man, the moral of the story is that let's take it from the beginning. I'd like to understand, Lebo, your feelings when you first secured this deal, from how it looked with the tenant in place, man.
Sure, my eyes are literally burning right now. But anyways, on the first day when we came through to the property, right, it looked super crazy. It looked super crazy with the tiles going on, with a lot of dogs running around the property. And now looking at it from a perspective that how do you deal with such a situation whereby you are with this family, and now as a property investor you need to be able to balance the human side of you and also the business side of you, making sure that when the person actually does leave, they leave knowing that they are sorted from the income statement in terms of how much they are actually left with in terms of their loans, right? And then also on your side, you are able to actually make a profit from that perspective. So for me, it was more of, it's me helping this person and also growing my business at the same time. How about you?
So for me, basically what I learned is that you need to stick to your strategy. I mean, it goes without saying that whenever you go into a deal, you need to have a fixed strategy, and whatever happens, do not be compromised, because I think that's one of the things that actually happened this time around, and that did delay us. However, even through the delay, we actually learned a lot, man. I got a lot from this, from this, man. Lebo, it's 1 o'clock. It's not actually one. It's 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock, yeah.
It's 3 o'clock. Let us know what is actually happening, just to make sure that you guys can see. Neighbors is sleeping, man. Everybody's asleep. So what's happening? Just take us through the closing stage of the deal.
Neo literally enjoys doing that. So we'd be talking, and then he'd just be like, let's look at the property, let's look at how it's going. So with the deal right now, what's actually going on is that the transaction has actually went through. So all is well from the finances side, but we just thought that we should actually make right with the lady that's actually going to be moving in, so that when she does actually come through to the property, she finds everything on point. I mean, it wasn't a must that we actually do it, but because we had a good relationship with the lady, and we also believe in long-term relationships, we said that, you know what, let's just take out some time from our calendar and actually make sure that when she does actually move into the property, she's actually happy. Talking about drama, Neo, please do tell us about the tree situation.
So with the tree situation is that we were ready to sell the property, right? Excited about everything is done. And then the purchaser actually even signed the offer to purchase at that point in time. So everybody was excited. So because it was a flip and it's far away from home, we're not living at the property. So we went back about, let's say, 3 to 4 months, and then we discovered that there was a crack on the tile. Sure, this took us back. However, we thought that maybe it's just one crack and then we can replace the tile. However, here's the challenge, is that the new owner actually came through with a contractor. So we sat down with everybody and then we analyzed the situation, that what is really happening here, only to find out that there was a huge tree right outside the kitchen. So what's happening with that tree is that the root is literally going underneath the house, and then it's pushing the tiles up. So that's what forced the crack. And if you actually follow that crack, it moves from the kitchen to the lounge, and then it even goes up the wall. So that actually set us back, because when we got our contractor and we got somebody to actually evaluate the whole mess, they said that this tree will cost us 50,000.
Sure. That was a tough pill to swallow, because I remember it was on a Sunday. I was really chilled and I was with my special somebody, and I was really happy on the day, only to find out that I need to actually take out 50,000 after fixing this whole thing. That was a huge blow. But the thing about flip is that something that you need to really understand about flip is that not every deal will go your way, right? Some deal
Most probably all,
right? But now some will go smooth sailing, but some won't actually go your way. So you need to be really prepared mentally and also financially. You need to be really prepared for whatever that is actually coming your way. So if you really want to understand how to actually flip a property, make sure that you do book a one-on-one with us, so that we can have a conversation about how do you actually flip like a pro, man.
Yeah, and it goes back to buying. If you look at it from this way, right? If you bought it at market value, you bought the house at 1 million, and then you found out that there's something terribly wrong. By the time you want to sell, let's say that you wanted to flip it. By the time you want to sell now, the question will be, at what price will you sell it? Because you already bought it at market value. Or even if you got, let's say this case, we got it 50,000 below market value. And then we bought the property only to find out that a tree, just the tree alone, will cost you 50,000 to remove, put the foundation, put the tiles back on, and then everything is hunky-dory. So I don't know why I chose that word, hunky-dory. But at the end of the day, man, a flip will really test your character. It will show that do you really have perseverance, and you giving up does not necessarily mean that you're weak. It really means you really need a team that will support you. You really need, I mean, that's what I appreciate. That's what I appreciate about my relationship with Lebo, is that sometimes when someone is really down and then the other one is up, we can actually exchange energies, man. So you really need that, and we'd actually like to be part of your team. So best make sure that you do not only hit the Calendly link below, please make sure that you also buy your ticket, because there's a possibility that this is the last event. There is a possibility that this is the last event we'll be doing in Gauteng. I'm not saying that it's the last. I'm saying that there's a possibility this will be the last one for the year.
So make sure you get your ticket.
Invest like a pro.
With no